Hi, I'm Nancy Morgan, co-founder of the Wound Care Education Institute, and today I'm here with Steve Brooks, Senior Vice President of Sales from Osnovation. Steve, can you explain to me self-adaptive technology?
Enluxtra is able to actually sense what the current needs of the wound are, so it can adapt to accommodate for them. For example, if part of the wound is exuding, Enluxtra will start to absorb exudate in that area. When the wound stops draining, Enluxtra will reverse its function to hydration to keep the area from drying out.
So does this mean that Enluxtra dressing can adapt to work in any kind of wound?
The dressing is designed to maintain an optimal moisture environment in the wound bed at all times. Dry areas will stay properly hydrated, and the fluid from the exuding areas are absorbed and locked into the dressing.
So how long can Enluxtra stay in a wound?
A key benefit of Enluxtra is that it can stay on a wound for 7 to 10 days on moderate exuding wounds and up to 5 to 7 days for those wounds that have heavy drainage.
That seems like a very long time, up to 10 days?
Yes, Enluxtra absorbs approximately 2 times more than the leading dressing on the market. So Nancy, I'd like to show you a 6x6 Enluxtra dressing. As you can see, it's really unique. It's different than anything else on the market. Don't you agree? The feel is a little different.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it kind of has a kind of a moist or a calming feel. So what I'd like to demonstrate is the 6x6 absorbent capability of this dressing by placing it in a bin and adding 16 ounces of soda to it to demonstrate its ability to ultra absorb and lock in the exudate.
16 ounces, okay.
16
sure.
ounces. There's no other dressing currently available on the market that has Enluxtra's absorbent capability. I'm going to actually let this sit here for a while, Nancy, and we'll get back to this later on in our conversation.
That's an interesting demonstration.
Of course, the innovation of a Silicon Valley startup combined with the global power of chemical giant BASF Corporation, we do stand by our statements.
Now that's good to know. Well, this definitely sounds like a game changer. Steve, are there financial benefits from using Enluxtra?
Of course, using self-adaptive technology drastically improves the economy in terms of wound care. What it means is that there will be a simplification of wound care protocols, a reduction in material inventory resulting in ultimately lower inventory costs, higher nurse productivity because they aren't spending as much time changing over and over, the wound dressings, potentially shortening the healing time with Enluxtra. You name it. In fact, several wound care clinics, long-term care facilities, and home health care facilities throughout the United States have totally switched over to Enluxtra and are reaping the benefits that Enluxtra has to offer.
So Steve, how are we doing on that experiment?
Well, Nancy, as you can see, all 16 ounces were absorbed into the dressing.
Oh my goodness.
Isn't that amazing?
Yes. Wow.
And the ability for this dressing then, and this is really where the proof is in the pudding, is the fact that if you press on this, Enluxtra has the ability to lock in the exudate and it keeps it away from the wound bed. A lot of the other ultra-absorbent dressings have a propensity or a tendency to maybe seep, especially on the edges, back into the wound bed. What Enluxtra does is it actually absorbs the exudate, as you can see here, and it locks it into the dressing itself, preventing it from reinfecting the wound. And as you can see, I'm pushing on this and nothing is coming out of the dressing.
No, nothing at all.
Isn't that amazing?
That is amazing. Wow.
This unprecedented absorbent capacity is only one of the many benefits of using functionally self-adaptive technology. Actually, due to its outstanding absorptive capability, Nancy, one may consider using Enluxtra over or as an alternative to negative pressure therapy.
Oh, really?
As you can see, it really does have the ability to absorb a lot of exudate here.
Having a smart dressing instead of a dozen more different types of categories, this is a brilliant idea. The way I think about it, it trumps any other dressing that's out there. You can really simplify your wound care treatment protocols, your inventory control, and also logistics.
Enluxtra self-adjusts to properties in every part of the wound. The problem with current wound dressings is that it is uniform in its functionality across the wound site. Other dressings lack the ability to individually address every part of the wound. Enluxtra solves this problem by addressing each wound part individually, facilitating optimal conditions for the healing of the entire wound, not just part of it. It both absorbs and hydrates simultaneously.
So let me make sure I have this right. What you're saying to me is this product is a smart product. I mean, because it has the ability to sense if part of the wound is dry, it'll donate moisture to it. And if the other part of the wound is moist, it'll absorb moisture. And this is happening in the same dressing. Is that right?
That's exactly right, Nancy.
I think this is a brilliant idea. So, Steve, would this product help decrease the frequency of visits?
As you know, the wound environment is constantly changing. While in contact with the wound, the dressing continuously adjusts itself to respond to any feedback it receives. This functionality eliminates the conflicts that arise when a quickly changing healing wound is not attended to appropriately and with an appropriate frequency. Enluxtra allows for even less frequent patient visits, improving wound care economics and patient lifestyle without sacrificing healing time.
So what you're saying to me is less visits if we are in a home care setting, for instance, and then decreased dressing changes overall. I mean, this is great.